Hey everyone, I hope you all are doing really well. In this today's video or session, podcast, whatever you call it, we are going to talk about the chartered financial analyst. And to talk with about that, I have with me my dear friend Priyanshi, who's a CFA. So without wasting any time, I would like Priyanshi to introduce herself briefly. So Priyanshi, can you introduce yourself briefly for the benefit of all?
Yes, thank you so much, Nasir. It's so good to be here over here, talking about CFA with you. Just to briefly introduce myself, I am Priyanshi Jain. I am the co-founder of Think Finance. By qualification, I am a chartered accountant and I have also pursued all my CFA levels. I started off my professional journey and career at JP Morgan in Mumbai as an equity research analyst. I worked there for a few years, got great exposure to covering various kinds of industries before I moved on to Goldman Sachs in Mumbai on the fixed
Super.
income team. Yeah, so I was very lucky enough to, during my professional career, I was obviously associated with these great names. So it was a great experience, along with, having a view of the entire financial markets, the equity side as well as the fixed income side. Now, I'm just pursuing my passion, starting off Think Finance. My finance and teaching passion is all combined into Think Finance to help others also, pursue this kind of a journey. So thank you so much,
Superb,
Nasir, for
superb.
having me here. Yes.
Superb, superb. Really a very nice, the journey which you have gone through, being in those big firms, having that practical exposure firsthand. That's superb to have you here, first of all. Our students at NGS would be really happy to watch you out here and look out for your experiences, what you would be sharing in this video. So let me just get started with this first question, which maximum students also ask me that, what is CFA? What is CFA? Can you just explain that?
Absolutely. So CFA, the full form of CFA, it stands for Chartered Financial Analyst. So it is a curriculum and charter that is offered by the CFA Institute for investment and finance professionals. So CFA essentially is a curriculum which is very broad based in terms of focusing on investment as well as portfolio management, understanding various kinds of financial instruments such as stocks, bonds, derivatives, and financial analysis, as well as harping on certain general areas of finance. So that is overall what CFA means and what it is entirely about. It is also considered very highly coveted and very well-known degree in the world of finance.
Okay. So when I say all these things which you're talking about, so who must be doing this qualification? Who must be doing this qualification?
So it's a very broad question, Nasir, who must be doing this qualification. But if I was to very, simply put it across and help students understand whether CFA is right for them or not, I feel like they should think about what is it that they want to achieve in terms of their career. So when I say that, first we think about, we want to make a career in these kind of fields, and then we decide whether CFA is right for us or not.
So it's better analysis.
Exactly. So we're doing a backward analysis. So I would say that, if you want to work and make a career in the financial markets, maybe as a financial analyst, including equity research analyst or a credit analyst, or you want to become a portfolio manager or a financial consultant, where you're advising people on how to invest their money and manage their money, or you want to join the corporate field and the corporates, working as a financial and a business strategist. So CFA kind of fits the bill if these are the major careers that you want to make. Of course, it's not just limited to this, but for the sake of simplicity, I've kind of divided into broad 3 buckets as to help you understand whether CFA is a good course for you or not.
Okay. So Priyanshi, what's the eligibility of this particular qualification? Like a normal BCom guy can do it, or does he need to have a professional qualification below his belt before he gets into CFA? As you said that you did CA, then you are doing CFA. So what exactly is the eligibility? Can you just share with us?
Yes, absolutely. So the CFA Institute does have certain criteria for eligibility for registration of the exams. So I'm just going to briefly go over these eligibility criteria. So firstly, you should be in a final year of your undergraduation to
Okay.
register for the CFA Level 1 exam.
Okay. So
Now,
final year.
for the level, yeah, so final year, but when you pursue a level 2, you should already have an undergraduate degree. So you should have already
Okay.
completed your undergrad. The
Okay.
second criteria is that you could have 4 years of full-time work experience. It may or may not be related to the investment or the financial world, but you will still be
Okay. So this
eligible
is
to
an added
register.
point. May or may
Yes, so
not
it would
be.
be may or may not. Yeah. So all
Okay.
these, I'm going to state three criteria, and it's either of them. You could have either of them.
Okay.
And the third criteria is a mixture of education, qualification, as well as work experience of a total of 4 years. So you could have a mixture
Okay.
of both, and you'll be eligible for the CFA Level 1 exam. So highly
Okay.
recommend students to go to the CFA Institute website, go over these eligibility criteria again before registering for the CFA exams. So that's
Okay.
absolutely
Okay.
essential. Yes.
So what's the timeline, Priyanshi? Means how long will it take for a normal student if suppose he is registering his level one from BCom or after 4 years of experience, whatever it is, how soon can he get completed over it?
Right. So CFA essentially has three levels. And the earliest you can complete all three levels is within a period of 15 to 18 months, depending
Okay.
on when you start. Yeah. And assuming that you're clearing each level in a single attempt. So it will take you
Okay.
somewhere between 15 to 18 months to complete all three levels.
Okay. Okay. So 15 to 18 months, I can just be more conservative and say 2 years. I'll be done with CFA if I put in the right efforts to get qualify as a CFA, right?
Absolutely. That's right.
Superb. Superb. So here, what would be the structure of the examination? Is it completely multiple choice questions or is it subjective? Can you throw some light on the structure of examination?
Yeah, absolutely, Nasir. So essentially, like I mentioned, CFA is spread across three levels: level 1, level 2, and level 3. So the first two levels, which is level 1 and level 2, is absolutely MCQ based, which is multiple choice question based.
Okay.
And level 3, on the other hand, is a mixture of constructive, subjective type questions as well as MCQs. So it's a
Okay.
combination of both in that case. Yes. Also, just would like to mention that the CFA Institute used to conduct paper-based examinations or paper-based tests, and from 2021 onwards, they have moved on to the computer-based testing system. So
Okay.
essentially, you will have these centers similar to GMAT exams, where you can go to the test center and you will be giving the examination on computers. So you'll be
Superb. Superb.
essentially marking your answers and everything on the computer systems.
So most probably it would be the Prometric Center itself, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Superb. So, Priyanshi, can you just put it down into more and more simple terms that how exactly would be the journey of a normal student once he's completing level one, then level two, then if he's completing level one, what type of job can he get? Can he get started with that? Can you just throw some light on that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question, Nasir. And students should definitely know that before they decide to pursue CFA or any other qualification. They should always know what is the benefit they're getting out of it. So essentially, I always tell my students that CFA level 1 is kind of like a base or a fundamental for you to get started on your financial and investment journey. In the world of finance, and if you want to become a professional as well. So
Okay.
after CFA level 1, there are a lot of companies that do take in people who have pursued their level 1 already, and they
Okay.
take them in on a very junior role. So maybe you would get a role kind of like a junior analyst in
Okay.
equity research, credit research, corporates, or even on the buy side. When I say buy side, I mean the portfolio management or the asset management companies. But you would start off at a
Okay.
very junior level. And after level 2, definitely the probability of getting entry into these kind of role increases from level
Okay.
1. And, you may start off from the analyst level at a slightly higher level than what you would have started off at level 1. And of course, after level 3, you have already cleared all 3 levels of CFA, and a lot of companies are willing to, or at least the range of companies that are willing to accept you in their company in roles definitely increases manifold times.
All
So
right.
it's not like you have to wait to complete all 3 levels to get a job. You can immediately start applying, and you can get a job even after level 1.
Superb, superb. So this is one qualification which you would say that if a student is interested in, researching, he has a skeptical mind over analysis, over the financial statements. It may be whether the stock prices, it may be whether the market, how is it going on. So a person like that who is having interest in it, for them, CFA is the best one, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely agree with you that CFA should be pursued by people who are very much interested in financial markets, financial instruments, investment analysis, so it's kind of like, if you have that interest, CFA is one of the best degrees in terms of the way the curriculum is designed, because it not only imparts that technical and fundamental knowledge on investment and portfolio management, but it also imparts a lot of practical knowledge on that as well.
Okay,
So,
okay.
I always tell my students that don't just focus on theory. You have to understand the practical implications as well. Because at the end of the
That's superb.
day, you're trying to enter the world of finance and investments, right? So if you don't know the practical aspect of CFA, why would an employer hire you?
Exactly, exactly. That brings me to the point that these qualifications, these professional qualifications, focus on practical learning, and the practical you learn, then you are job ready or industry ready. You are ready to move on and start earning in a job or start a business, whatever it is. That's what is the beauty of these qualifications, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, Nasir. 100% agree with you. And I mean, this degree is just. I mean, I'm very very passionate about CFA because I have had a lot of value add in my
Superb,
career
superb.
through CFA. So I mean, definitely, CFA is great course to pursue.
Now I have this one question which many students will have, this, the bottom line, that what is the price to get this over? Can you just give us an overview about how much would it cost for a normal person to complete CFA?
You definitely consider this as an investment. When you are choosing to register for the CFA curriculum, and you will be getting a lot of returns, higher returns than what you've definitely invested. So if I can say it in those terms, you have to invest somewhere around 2,500 US dollars to 4,500 US dollars for
Okay.
all 3 levels, including a one-time
Okay.
registration fees, which the CFA Institute charges.
And this
And
payments should be done around the clock, means until you complete the
yes,
CFA, not at once, right?
no, not at once.
Ah,
Every
okay.
level you will be paying as you register for the exam. And it also depends on whether you're able to avail the early bird offer. So that is why it would be
Okay.
2,500 in that case, or it could go up to
Okay.
4,500 as well. Yes.
That's super. If a student is getting
Yes.
the right guidance from the right mentor, and then he can also avail these early bird discounts and complete his CFA around
Absolutely.
$2,500. That would be a very good investment for the student, because if I'm not wrong, if he is going to get into the job and get started with his career, this investment will be returned in how much time? Can you tell me?
Within 1 year.
Within one
Definitely.
year, and then after
Yes,
that
yes.
is his profits, or you can also say that this is all what he is going to go on till the end, or till the end when he is going on with his career, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's why, I always say that CFA is a great investment. I mean, the returns on the investment, or ROI, like we call it in the investment world, is absolutely magnificent. So it's an investment worth making if you decide that this is the right degree for you to do.
Superb, superb. So I hope you've answered all my questions regarding CFA. In fact, all students would also be having clarity as of now. regarding CFA, and they can plan their CFA if they are willing to, if they are having that type of interest. Because nowadays I'm seeing many Netflix series, or the scam which has come out, the scam series which is there on Sony Live, which has come out. Many students are aspiring, going on making their stock market accounts, their demat accounts, and then trying to do something out there. So this is one thing which is going to be a savior for them in the long run. If I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, that this CFA would be a long run for them, and a future, a sustainable future, which I could say. Am I right?
Absolutely, 100% Nasir. I mean, with all these series that are coming out, and in general, we see today's youth, the students, including the young professionals, they are so financially educated. They understand the
Super.
value of
Yes.
investing. Not the earlier traditional way in which our parents only used to invest in certain classes like real estate. People understand that there are a lot of other kinds of investments that they can make, and CFA definitely helps you understand those and manage your money well, at the least. Even if you don't necessarily want to make a career in a professional world, it still gives you that kind of a knowledge where you can at least handle your money and grow it exponentially.
Superb, superb. So I got a couple of questions now, and then we'll end it up. So Priyanshi, you have been taking CFA classes for a long, long time right now. So how do you find, means what is the awareness about the students in CFA? What about the Indian students? And you spoke with me that you have few international students also. Is it the quantum of international students which is more when compared with Indian students, or Indian students are more?
So, it's kind of like a good mix, Nasir, between
Okay.
domestic and overseas students. Of course, like I mentioned, it's a globally recognized degree. So, I mean, people across the world pursue CFA, and we
Okay.
definitely have a lot of overseas students as well. Now, on your question about awareness, it's picking up in India right now. People are getting more and more, knowledgeable about CFA, about the benefits of CFA. Definitely, the global students or the overseas students are already on that path where they're aware, and we do see a lot of demand from them. But definitely, Indian students are, reading more, becoming more aware that there is something called a CFA. So over time, I have definitely seen the number of calls that we get, or the number of students that do come to us has grown quite a bit. So
All right.
it's very encouraging. It's great to see that students are opening up their
Superb.
horizons, and kind of doing a
Thinking
lot more
out
with their
of the
time.
box, and thinking like, there is a qualification which is to be done, and that's not new. It's actually very
Yes,
old qualification, and we are new to it, and we were unaware about it. And being aware about
absolutely.
it and taking decisions rather than going, no, I need to convince my parents, these all things, I don't think you're hearing this.
Yes, little less of it, but
Okay.
still I feel like Indian students need to, become a little more aware of it. And now even parents are becoming educated about CFA as a qualification.
Okay.
So that's definitely helping a lot, because once parents, start understanding the value, which they are already, we see a lot of it, and students are willing to have this added education qualification as well.
All
And
right, right.
just one
So
more thing I would point out about
okay.
CFA, one more benefit is that, and this is like a practical benefit of CFA, that you don't really have to give up your normal life to pursue CFA. It's a
Okay.
part-time course, so you can be studying, you can be working and pursuing CFA alongside with that. So it's not like
Okay.
you have to go
Okay.
to a college and leave everything, and
Okay.
pursue that
Okay.
degree. So that's one
Superb,
great
superb.
benefit in terms
and
of
and it
practical
and
aspect.
it can be done completely online, sitting at their homes.
Absolutely, 100%. Yes.
Exactly. So now one last question is that, what do you see the mixture of students, like are they working, or are there full-time students? What type of mixture do you have, means whether it is 50-50, or working professionals are more aware about it and they are coming towards CFA, or the students? What is the mixture of CFA right now?
So I would say it is around 50-50. Students who are
Okay.
on their final year of graduation, understand that in order to get a job, they need additional value add, in
Okay.
terms of their CV. So they recognize that, the CFA is something that can be pursued easily. Like I mentioned, the practical advantage of CFA.
Okay.
So they are definitely, in that mix of students, along with young professionals. So someone who has entered
Okay.
their professional life, either wants to move into finance or wants to grow within their role on finance, they realize the importance of CFA. And then we
Superb.
have
Superb.
a little bit, of people who are higher up in the career progression, maybe 10 years into their career, and they realize in order to get that jump ahead, uh, CFA is going to give them that kick. So
Superb.
then we
Superb.
have that
Superb.
piece.
So
Yeah.
I hope that all my questions, all the questions of students also is answered. Thank you so very much for coming out on this podcast, video session, whatever you call it. I hope that every student who's going to hear this is going to value it a lot and going to take a decision according to it. And maximum students will also gain awareness about it. In fact, I've also got a few more new points which have come in, like you can complete your CFA max to max around 2 years. You're done with CFA. Come on, I'm also thinking of doing it right now.
Well, that's great, Nasir. It was so good to be here, and I hope I have been able to, help those students out there who are maybe considering or maybe who don't know about the course. And I'm happy to, answer any further questions and just help out in any way that I can.
Superb, superb. So I'll just quickly end this session, summarize it off. So thank you very much, everyone. If you have watched it till here, make sure that you hit that like button if it helped you, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel also. And also subscribe and go on to the pages of Think Finance. The link is there in the description below. Make sure that you check out that too. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah.